Senator Welch.
Thank you very much. Welcome, Mr. Nolen. I wanted to focus on the staffing requirements that are necessary to make certain that there is careful and timely review of electronic aircraft. And so I wanted to ask you a few questions about that. That's an emerging technology. Vermont has a company that's very much involved in that. And the questions I have to do with the question whether the FAA currently has an adequate number of subject matter experts on new and emerging technologies, including the advanced air mobility and electric aircraft, to be able to support the certification process.
Yes, sir. It is one that we believe our staffing is adequate for the moment, but is one that we have to stay on top of. As I mentioned just before you walked in, sir, is that we have stood up an integrated project team to look at the entire ecosystem around advanced air mobility. We're calling them my team members, so we have certification, we have cert engineers, we have flight standards inspectors, we have air traffic inspectors, we have human factors. We're looking across the totality of what it will take to enable new entrants into the NAS and to ensure that our national airspace can accommodate them all.
You know, we've got this company in Vermont that's really working hard, and they're apprehensive about this, and what you just said is a little bit in conflict with what they're hearing. Do you have an estimate of the number of subject matter experts on new and emerging technologies that the FAA has right now?
I don't have a number right off the top of my head, but I'd be more than happy to follow up with staff on that, sir.
Well, you know, it'd be good to do that because this has got to be specific and concrete. And by the way, staffing issues are rampant everywhere. So I'm sure that's a real challenge.
If I may, sir, with your permission, I would say for every company that's out there, we have a very structured process. We stood up in 2018 the Center for Emerging Concepts and Innovation, expressly to be able to take new entrants, and we're doing it early in the process. They come to us, they tell us what they have, how they operate, the complexity of it, and we can decide where we need to plug them in. Those offices are adequately manned, and we are also, we've upgauged this at the leadership level as well to make sure we've got that level of oversight.
Okay, I'd like to just be able to be in regular communication with you if I'm hearing that there are problems on the ground.
You have my commitment. Yes,
yeah,
sir.
the quick turnaround, timely turnaround is really going to be important, as you know. As the FAA continues to implement provisions of the Aircraft Certification, Safety, and Accountability Act, it's obviously important that the agency meets the implementation timeline requirements that are included in the law. It's been over 270 days since that bill was passed in December 2020. And as the committee continues its work on FAA reauthorizations, it'd be helpful if you could let us know whether the agency needs more resources to meet workforce challenges, and when do you expect the FAA review will be completed?
Well, on the review itself, we do expect it to be completed by the end of this year. So we are working hard there. We recognize when we got into it, sir, that we just need to make sure we get it right and make sure that we have the capacity and the capabilities and the talent to be able to stare into the future. And not
Any idea when that will be done?
It will be done by the end of this year, yes, sir.
End of calendar year 2023.
Exactly.
And,
yes, sir.
And as the FAA does complete that required review, I just want some reassurance of your commitment to reviewing FAA's current staff capacity in the electric aviation space.
You have my commitment, sir.
Thank you very much. I'm going to yield to Mr. Vance.